Welcome to the IE Sustainable Venture Day Altiplano. My name is Alexandra Perez, Director of IE University in Ecuador, and I will be the host for this event. It's a pleasure being part of such an amazing initiative of IE University that we have put together for all the entrepreneurship ecosystem across the Altiplano region. During the next 2 hours, we will introduce 8 startups from Ecuador, Colombia, Peru, Venezuela, and Bolivia, all around sustainability, entrepreneurship, and innovation. They have been selected out of over 60 startups for today's pitches. You can look forward to a very high-profile selection of jury members and speakers, each with their own distinctive experience in the world of entrepreneurship. I have the pleasure of introducing our judges. Javier Benavides, Investa VB. He's a co-founder, and he is from Peru. Ernesto Kruger, entrepreneur, investor, and CEO of Kruger Corp from Ecuador. Nicolás Mejía Ángel, he's an angel investor from Colombia. And Hector Benavente, he's an entrepreneur and teacher and mentor of incubator at Novos from Venezuela. Thank you all for being part of this event with us today. I would also like to thank Área 31 and the Center of Social Innovation at IE University for collaborating in the organization of this event. Thanks to South Summit for their support in promoting today's event and also for sponsoring the winner of this Venture Day, this winner would be shortlisted for the South Summit annual conference this year on April the 29th. So we will start with our pitches now. And our first pitch will be by Lorena Gallardo. She is the CTO of Resi Besi from Ecuador. Welcome, Lorena. The floor is yours now. And remember, you have 3 minutes for your pitch.
Anita, along with Ecuador's 20,000 grassroots women waste pickers, recover half of the waste that is recycled, but under precarious and unsafe conditions. They walk dozens of kilometers a day, open garbage bags, and risk their health to earn less than half of the minimum wage. The Resi app mobile application changes the urban social reality and links citizens with grassroots waste pickers, improving their quality of life, self-esteem, and pride in their work. We are the only service that goes beyond recycling. We work on social development, climate change mitigation, circular economy, and gender equity, as 70% of grassroots recyclers are women. Resi app is the first social and technological innovation tool for recycling in Ecuador, with more than 8,000 users nationwide, 4,000 direct deliveries of material to more than 600 grassroots waste pickers in at least 5 cities. Resi app is adaptable, scalable, sustainable, and constantly growing. It offers a freemium recyclable waste collection service based on the collaborative mapping of grassroots waste pickers, and premium financed by companies that put packaging and containers on the market, and by waste generators. In addition, it rewards neighbors through a bonus system with Resi businesses. The Resi app is a dynamic tool, and in response to COVID-19, encouraged citizens to save their recyclables for proper management with social inclusion. Behind the Resi app is an interdisciplinary team made up mostly of women, professionals in waste management, circular economy, business, and software development. In 2020, we won IDB FEMSA Award, the Quito Sustainable and Inclusive Recognition. We were recognized by Global Pact in SDG 11, and finalists in ABI Regional Corona Challenge Contest. We are the platform that will connect all actors in the solid waste chain in Ecuador. ResiApp now needs investment to increase its operations, so we require $53,500 for marketing and sales, operations, software development, and infrastructure to reach the break-even point. This will allow us to recover more than 65 tons of recyclable material per year by reaching nearly 10,000 people and 400 businesses. We will generate a positive impact on 2,300 grassroots waste pickers, who will increase in over 200% their income and 300% in the recovery of recyclable material. Moreover, all of this material currently has no cycle closure, and without our solution, it will end up in an open dump or landfill. With the ResiApp, neighbors meet Anita and deliver their material directly to her. She earns more and in safe working conditions to continue fulfilling her dreams and those of her family. This is the model in which everyone wins. And to complete ResiBesi, we only need one piece, you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lorena. This is time for questions. And members of our jury will make questions right now. So thanks and congratulations for your speech. Any questions, members of the jury?
Hi, Lorena. Wonderful to meet you. Excellent idea. I have just one question. As you scale and grow your business, I'm a little bit worried about the infrastructure, about the recycling in Ecuador. So, isn't there a point where all the growth stagnates the recycling capacity that the current that Ecuador has to recycle that input that you collect?
Hi, good morning with everyone. Hi, Nicolas. Yes, well, that is going to be definitely a problem if we don't think about that from now. But currently now, only 25% of all the recyclable potential that Ecuador has is actually being recycled. So we still have a lot of material that is not going to any industry. It's still being very low. And we are aiming to increase that percentage of recyclable waste that goes into industries. However, we have noticed that there are a lot of materials that don't have any transformation or recycling afterwards. So we need to start thinking about that. And the important thing that we offer is data, exactly to know where to invest and what type of machinery we need, what type of investment we need in order to recycle all the materials that are not being transformed now. So I think it's actually a really good moment to invest in more infrastructure, because we have all the data that can, let investors know where the material, what type of material is not being recycled yet. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations, Lorena. This is a good startup on a sustainable concept. My question is it your own technology? Who is the in charge in the technology? It's very important because the technology is the fundamental in your startup.
Yeah, so it's Ecuadorian technology. When we started ResiBesi like 5 or 6 years ago, we had like a really active volunteering group, and since then it has evolved, and now we are in the capability to hire, and we have hired a team, a development team from Ecuador. It's led by Edwin Salvador and his team of Grupo Menta. They are like a technology group that has been developing our system, but of course our staff group, and especially me being as a leader in the technology and innovation area inside ResiBesi, we have all developed all the ideas, user experience, and everything that is behind ResiApp, because it's something that is not happening anywhere else. So yeah.
Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lorena.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, now we're moving into our next pitch. Welcome Eric Rojas. He's CEO of Ancestry and Development from Colombia. Eric, you have 3 minutes.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Eric Rojas, and I'm part of the Ancestry and Development Company, a Colombian company, and I would like to present you our company. So we had a problem here in Colombia. The majority of the indigenous people here and the farmers are poor, really poor people. So they live and they suffer the consequence of difficulties related with the poverty. So despite they be the owners and guardians of the land and the forest and the water. We had a solution here. Exactly what is the solution? We had 3 pillars. The first pillar is about the people, the conscience of the people around the globe. The people, because the people are consumers. In our opinion, the people are ready to be more conscious and to invest in product with high quality and with a history behind that. We have the ancestral product and services, and we manage that. Our organization here, Ancestry and Development, represent the production and services for the most important indigenous tribes and people here in this country, and also represent the forest, the farm producers here in Colombia. And because the impact for this exchange produce an impact, social and economic impact important for the 3 different pillars we are mentioned here. The portfolio we had an example about the capacity we have here. We, for example, have the coffee produced by indigenous people, and also we have the panela. The panela is a 100% organic sweetened product that can replace the traditional panela. And we had also the community platform that connect the tourism, the ethnical and community tourism. So we are allowing the people to use this platform to connecting with the ethnical people here, to connecting with the farmers, and to enjoy and really have the opportunity to become a better person, not only because they enjoy the tourism, but also because they support the economic development using our platform. What are looking for? We are looking for partners. We are looking for buyers. We are looking for a partner to find new markets for our product and services. We are looking for investors to boost the capacity we had here. For example, the fruit plant we have in Nariño, Colombia. And also we are looking for investors to improve the technological platform we are developing, to connecting the final consumer with our producer here in Colombia. This is our team, 4 friends and entrepreneurs with different experiences that are looking for best opportunities for our people in Colombia. And finally, for further information, this is my contact information. We are ready to discuss further in detail about the topics I mentioned in this 3 minutes speech. So thank you so much.
I have a question. What do you need to your startup to grow? I understand that you needed to grow a technology, partnership, and many more products, for example. Is this correct?
Good morning, everyone. Yes, we are looking for 2 kind of solutions. Buyers, because obviously we already have the product here. We already have the production for panela and coffee, for example, ready to export. We are exporting right now to Canada and US markets right now. But also we are looking for people that invest in our platform, because we have the technology to develop and facilitate the connection between the producers, the farmer and the indigenous producers, with the final consumption process in US or Canada, for example. But we are looking for investors to finalize the platform. We had the designs, we had the people here, we had the technical knowledge, but we are looking for find capital to invest in this traceability platform we are developing here in Colombia. So again, buyers, because we have the product itself ready to export, and also investors to push our technological platform in Colombia.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Hello, Eric. Thank you for your presentation. I really liked it. But I have a question. Actually, we have a lot of indigenous people along our Andes, along our mountains and our forests. How do you want? How would you like to reach all of them in order to expand your operations?
Yes, thank you for your question. So we already, the impact we have now in Colombia are around more than 300 families, indigenous families along Colombia. But again, as soon the process and the platform will be ready to include other indigenous people in other countries like Peru, for example, we are in the position to facilitate the connection with the markets in US and Canada. That is our main markets right now. So the platform and the contacts we have are working to facilitate the interaction, the direct interaction between the indigenous people here and the markets in US. As soon or in the same pace, the platform will be ready to include other families, other indigenous people in the region. We are in the position also to offer this kind of products into the final markets.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Eric, and congratulations for your pitch. So our speech comes from a startup in Peru and will be presented by Vanessa Tarazona. She's the CEO of Selection People Analytics. Welcome, Vanessa. Remember, you have 3 minutes.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Tarazona, co-founder of Selection Latam, an HR tech that supports recruitment and selection processes in Latin America, as well as employability within the region. So, as you can see in Latin America, we have issues with employment and informal employment rates, and there is also a difference between male and females ratios. This has worsened with the pandemic in 2020. The rates have gone down and up to 38% contraction for unemployment in Peru. There have been two groups that have been the most impacted. One of them is the youth, people under 25-year-olds, and the other one are women. Both of them, their contraction rate has gone up to 45% for youth in Chile and for women in Peru. So we're a diverse region with an opportunity to change how we are doing business and be more inclusive. Selection will support this change. The reality today is that many HR professionals are overwhelmed by the number of applications that they receive, and they cannot process them all, finding their best candidates. So they were settled with recommendation, creating a vicious circle in terms as to who gets the better roles. Selection is here to change that. We publish the positions, as you can see. They can see the applicants, the review applicants, and the people that have seen and referred the job post. Once you go into the job posting, you can see a full tracking of all the stages of the process. You can also invite more candidates that have been pre-qualified within our platform. This way, broaden your candidate pool. You can also find the better talent by using our score selection, an algorithm that uses unbiased techniques for the development. You can follow up with candidates in an easy way. We make it so easy, WhatsApp and email, so that you can reach out to everyone and anyone at any point in time. Why now? Because Latin America has been changing. We're looking to close the gap of inequality. However, up to today, women earn 26% less than men in this region. So we're not moving at a pace that is required or that we're looking for. Also, the global market of HR technology is 2.2 billion. In the Americas, account for 45% of it. Our growth is expected to be 5 to 7% over the next 5 years. We have many competitions, however, they do not close the employability gap, nor do they address the end-to-end process. Our team is multidisciplinary. We have product development, technology, sales, and data analytics. For this year, our projections are $29,000. However, we're growing strong with 7,000 users on our platform, and we're onboarding about 900 users per month. So we're confident that we will hit our 4-year projections. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Our jury members, do you have any questions?
How do you plan to beat all these competitors you have in the region? Because there are many, and which one do you think is the most complicated one? Who is your biggest competitor in the region?
Sorry, I didn't quite get the question, the first part.
How do you plan to beat all the competitors you have in the region? And which one is the big one? The big one competitor for you?
Okay, so there is not one competitor that have the largest presence across Latin America. We are split and very our presence within the countries, right? We have listed a few that are growing. Some come from Chile, some come from Colombia, some come from Peru as well, and have been looking to grow in this scenario to close the gap in terms of recruitment and acceleration. We're also putting a focus on employability, which means that we're helping people be their better selves in terms of looking for employment. Sometimes what they need is some coaching, traction, and we're doing that automatically through reports that can assess their profiles and can give them tips so that they can enhance their performance next time. And there is a big gap, right? People who came from private schools and they are being trained on those soft skills versus people that are coming from less established or less wealthy regions within the countries. And we're focusing on leveling the playing field for everybody.
Thank you.
Hi, Vanessa. Nice to meet you. I think that your startup is solving a very big problem in Latin America. I have just one question. I would like to know who are you charging for the service and what is the business model around the economics of what you're charging?
Yes, currently we're charging companies that are looking to recruit. So that's our main revenue stream. However, we have a second revenue stream who comes from the consumers, right? We're doing it at a very low price. Let's say no more than $10 per assessment, per completion, helping people grow. So that's more or less our business model. It comes from both sides, but we're trying to focus mainly on charging the companies and the enterprises because we do aim to make this sustainable and to help the poorest, which may not be able to afford such rates.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Vanessa. So now we have our last speech on this first block. Please welcome Daniel Cuervo. He's CEO of Data Traffic from Colombia. Welcome, Daniel. The floor is yours. And remember, you have 3 minutes.
Hi, my name is Daniel Cuervo, CEO at DataTF, disrupting last mile deliveries with technology and impact. Pandemics changed the way customers buy and have access to the products in Latin America. E-commerce grew by 250%, and CPG's companies need to deliver products to 2.5 billion little stores weekly. However, these changes come with some problems that affect the balance of the model. First of all, last mile deliveries represent 54% of total supply chain costs for companies. Latin America has 11 million informal drivers that live on a daily basis work. And last mile deliveries represent 25% of the entire world carbon footprint. This is why in 2020 Q4, we launched Carrot, last mile deliveries for retailers, e-commerce, and CPG companies as a vertical integration of our B2B SaaS routing technology. We understand that technology enables efficiencies and creates value for all stakeholders by generating efficiency, reducing logistic costs by 35% with artificial intelligence and routing algorithms. Visibility, increasing end user satisfaction by 20% with real-time tracking. Simplicity, reducing 57% of back office tasks by automizing end user interaction and providing intelligent dashboards. Collaboration, Driver app enables us to fulfill the demand for logistics with our gig economy model, with offering of access to finance, health, and training services for all drivers. And finally, environment, reducing the impact of carbon footprint by 60% by using emission-free vehicles. Last mile deliveries represent a $100 billion market in the world. Our focus industries need the technology to fulfill their delivery products. However, in Latin America, only 1% of the entire transportation traditional companies uses it. Because of this, we decided to integrate vertically and transform into a logistics company. In a scaling market, there are several startups that are trying to solve this problem. However, our technology differentiates us from the entire. Higher vehicle performance and assignment with the same fixed cost, higher adaptability to different logistics models, and by using emission-free vehicles, we fulfill the sustainability reporting needs of our clients. For the past 3 years, we have been creating the technology to try to solve this problem. With a SaaS business model, we grew 62% year on year and impact 3,400 different drivers and 60 companies in Colombia and Mexico while creating a parallel impact strategy. In 2021, we want to focus on scaling Carrot in Latam in order to achieve 1.4 million deliveries by the end of the year. And not only this, by 2023, we want to achieve 4.2 million deliveries in Colombia, Mexico, Brazil, Peru, and the Caribbean, have $67 million in revenue, maintaining an EBITDA value of over 25%, and maintaining our service levels with an NPS of over 9 and an annual churn rate under 4. We will be able to do this by scaling and strengthening our technology, improving on user satisfaction and driver usability, and developing all the artificial intelligence models in our Spanish hub. We have a committed team of over 47 people, led by us 4, with 75 years of experience combined with software development, business development, and international expansion. Timing is favorable. VCs invested about $2.3 billion in last year, but only 1% went to Latin America, where there are huge consolidation opportunities. We expect to grow our company in the region and become an acquisition target. We invite you to be part of this last mile delivery disruption in Latin America and invest in a company that has shown the ability to grow and make a profitable product while generating impact for the environment and for society. We're looking for a $500 investment in a convertible note. Join Carrot and help us disrupt last mile deliveries with technology and impact. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Thank you, Daniel. Will any of our jury members like to add any questions for Daniel?
Hi, everyone.
Hello, Daniel. Great pitch. I would like to ask you, how are you tackling the competition that's entering Colombia and all of South America all of a sudden, and with other players that go perhaps side by side, perhaps like Simply Route or Waze Inclusive, that are kind of a competition and could shake your market a bit.
Okay, so Javier, thank you very much and great question. On our B2B SaaS model, we were competing directly with Simply Route, which are great. They're a Chilean company. However, what I was telling you a little bit is that we integrated vertically, and now we have become a logistics company. And why did we do this? There were over 37,000 companies, transportation companies just in Colombia, out of which only 1% of them use technology. So you have transportation company is the intermediate between a delivery requirement, which is made by the retailer, and somebody else that needs to fulfill the demand. But when we tried to sell our product to the transportation companies, it was very difficult because they're not culturally able to implement them in their companies. So what we did is we integrate vertically, and became a logistics company. And now we offer our services directly to the e-commerce, retailers, and CPG companies. So we do the deliveries by ourselves. This is one of the things that we did to be able to sell and to implement a little bit faster. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Daniel. Very good presentation. What barriers do you see in the future to the growth of your company?
Okay, so that is a great question also. Basically, we see the barriers. We're intermediate between the logistics demand and the final user. So we need two things to be able to really grow as fast as we need to grow. First of all, we need to have a very big database of motorcycles and vehicles of informal drivers that want to work with us. And this is why we are focusing our impact and social strategy in providing them a lot of services that they require, but they do not have currently, which are basically education, finance, insurance, and health issues. So by giving them this, what we're doing is that we are creating loyalty within them. And by creating loyalty, they would prefer us to work with us instead of working with another big players that are in there. The second thing that's happening is that pandemics changed completely what was happening with home deliveries of products and things. And basically, what we've seen is that right now that quarantine is a little bit more open, that the retailers are beginning to open. However, the demand for home delivery has maintained. It is sustainable. And what we're doing here is we are engaging a lot of new micro, like not only focusing on the big players, but also focusing on those middle players that really require this type of services, but they do not have access. And how we're doing this, we are creating some alliances. For instance, we created an alliance with Cámara de Comercio Bogotá, and within a program that they're doing to be able to help micro companies and little entrepreneurs to be able to digitally transform their companies. We're helping them to achieve also the home delivery things that are working right now.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you all the four pitches we had so far. This concludes our first block. And now we're going to thank you very much to our judges too. We are going to move now to our keynote speaker, Max Oliva, who will be talking about reactivation plan for 2030. Max is a professor and associate director of the Sustainable Impact at IE University, has a postgraduate training at Stanford GSB, an MBA from IE Business School, and he is an engineer from Tec de Monterrey. Max is co-founder of 5 social enterprises, including the world's largest impact entrepreneurship work network, the Impact Hub. Max has developed transformation projects, given conferences, classes, and workshops in more than 30 countries, and with organizations such as Google, Novartis, PwC, EY, Telefónica, Santander, BBVA, ING, Qatar Foundation, Fundación MAPFRE, Stanford, among many others. Welcome, Max. Very nice to see you. And it's an honor for all of us to have you with us this morning.
Quite the opposite. A real pleasure to have been invited, Alejandra. I love these coincidences. I really hope that we can see each other personally again in the coming years. We've had incredible times in Ecuador, and also yes, with Bruno and everyone from that are making this event possible. I've really enjoyed the pitches that I've heard. It's really exciting to see all of us being from Latin America, or at least a big chunk of us. I also saw people from Norway and other places, no, but having our common language, and at the same time all speaking in a global language. So very, very happy to be part of this. And I'll be sharing, I have assigned about 25 to 30 minutes to share a little bit of my story, and most importantly, to try to connect a couple of dots that we find very interesting on the one side of entrepreneurship with sustainability or with business opportunities, but particularly all of us acknowledging, and I couldn't agree more, that most of us, if not all, are believers, but most importantly, the next 10 years that we are going to live will make the difference in the rest of our lifetime. You know? And this is mostly impacted by sustainability issues, sustainability in the broader perspective of the sustainable development goals, the SDGs, and so I'll be sharing a few opportunities that definitely can connect with what you're already driving through your ventures, but also the need that we all have collectively to actually bring this change about. So I'll be sharing my screen now. Some slides will accompany me. I believe you can see them now. I cannot see the screen, so I would just need anyone just to echo with a yes or just have clarity that it's being seen. I understand that that is the case. We tried it earlier. But anyways, the slides are in front of me, so if you have any questions or stuff, I'll be happy to stop and just clarify as we move forward. No? And as I shared earlier, the next decade will make the difference, and this decade is just beginning this year, 2021, and we have the next 10 years to actually move forward on this. And we've linked it with a plan that we feel that needs all stakeholders to come together to reactivate our economy in different ways, and it being definitely affected by our current situation of COVID, and just how do we leverage also on this very challenging times that we're all living collectively as a global family, and how do we see the opportunities that lie beyond. As I shared earlier, I'll talk a little bit about Alejandra was kind enough already to share a couple of stories, but well, anyways, this is one of the startups I have, and the one that we're driving this project forward with, which is called Impact Hub. It is a network around the world. And the nice thing is that in this picture, it took place in 2010. A few months earlier, we were losing about 900,000 pounds. We were indebted. We were close to bankruptcy, and we were pointing fingers to one another as a network across the different countries. Back then, we were in 18 cities, just saying like, what did we do wrong? No, what went wrong? And we've luckily refinanced, gave it another loop on our journey. And this is when we all came back together in Madrid, all happy faces now. But this is just to showcase that being entrepreneurial is a hard endeavor, and particularly in the Impact Hub, when we try to actually bring not only enterprises but social enterprises, or enterprises that have a triple bottom line as a purpose into living, that is very, very exciting and also hard to do. That's why we need community. Another endeavor that I've started, I've been lucky enough to be a co-founder, is Team Labs, which is a radical lab for learning, where we have young people that are trying to become entrepreneurs actually just start a company and then have their 4 years of their undergrad to make it work. We do that traveling around the world, not so much in this few months. And anyways, very, very crazy endeavor that we do with different partnerships on different scales. Yes, so that's that. And then also I have a hat of design. I've been passionate about design since more than 10 years now. I've learned and played with it at Stanford, and from there on, I've been partaking on different projects. Here at Studio Banana, it's a lab, design lab, where we work on design-driven transformation projects with United Nations, with the International Olympic Committee, with many customers, and we have very cool projects. I really invite you to look at it, and this brings together both the entrepreneurial bit with the design component of how do we focus on real human needs to actually shift behaviors. And last but not least, how do we all bring that together through the lens of sustainability? And at IE, I've been working since 2006 on the sustainable impact area, where we try to help one another to be part of this chain of change that we like to call. And so that's a little bit about me. And now I'll share a little bit about Impact Hub for those of you that don't know it, so that you have a little bit of context of what it is that we do. As shared earlier, we're a network present in more than 100 cities across more than 50 countries, 55 to be precise, where we do have physical spaces where people, entrepreneurs go out to work, but we also do projects and basically create a community where people can support one another, learn from one another, and actually perhaps become business partners so that we actually drive these endeavors further. We run more than 200 entrepreneurial projects across the year, more than 10,000 events. Well, anyways, these are just some numbers to give you a sense of the dimension of the network. And when we think of it across the world, we're definitely present in Europe with a stronghold there, but at the same time, we're present in Latin America in a very significant way. So this might also be a good community to step in if this adds value to your different endeavors. Within Iberia, which is the area where I'm mostly involved with, we have about 11 physical spaces and more than 1,500 members. Of those, we run the company that I co-founded. We run 9 of these spaces in Madrid, Barcelona, Malaga, and Lisbon. So it's this community of entrepreneurs in this area, and we run different projects, mostly related with sustainability and using entrepreneurship and innovation as drivers towards sustainability, with all these different types of customers that are both global and on a local scale. So that's a little bit of the hub. We've been learning the hard way, almost going bankrupt. Not just once. That's just one story I shared, but we've had a couple of moments, 2-3 moments, and depending on the hub, how we deal with that. And with this context that we're all living, as I shared earlier, right now the destruction of our economic framework globally is being affected quite significantly by our context, and we see sustainability as a key driver to help us reactivate the economy, and to support in this endeavor. We've come up with this plan that I'll be sharing you in the next slides, in which we invite all stakeholders to partake on this, definitely entrepreneurs, but also corporations, and particularly, and just as important, the regulator, the government, so that we can actually make the best use. In this case, in the European Union, there's this massive amounts of money that are being moved through the EU Green Deal, and it's how do we play with that. So this is a proposal to make a drive of this next generation EU funds, and how we can actually drive them so that they are the most productive and are applied in the best way possible. Not only affecting in a positive way our systems of our ecosystems for impact, but also sustainability, and particularly, and just as important, how do we activate citizenship, and how do we help one another shift our behaviors? It starts with our very small and simple context, and then how do we drive that in a larger scale? With this in mind, we have different pretensions that we have with this plan. The first one being, in order for us to reach a sustainable development across all the different regions, we have 50 provinces and 50 regions in Spain. How do we actually drive this through what we like to call ecosystems of impact? And through this, we've done a very interesting work that brings more than 135 indicators that focus on the socioeconomic and environmental components, so that we can actually make a rating of all these provinces in Spain, out of which we can see what's being invested in this area, and then how actually the return that they're getting on these different levels. But we also measure what we call the how the system is vibrant on a different scale. So this is just one of these areas that goes a bit deeper into the us enabling ecosystems of impact on a regional level in Spain. As a second pretension, we definitely understand, just as we are living today with the Venture Day, not only in the Altiplano, but also across the globe and on a different scale, we understand entrepreneurship as a driver that allows us to regenerate change and to actually allow us to build resilient communities. And understanding this through the drivers of entrepreneurship and intrapreneurship are very important drivers. No, here is just as an example of what we're doing. We have an incubator and accelerator that we call Tangram. I don't know if you recall this game when you were kids. Tangram is this small circle to the right where you have just a few pieces that, in fact, there are always 7 that you have to make them fit so that they come up to make a circle. It's easier said than done, but this is the driver of our incubators and accelerator is on circular economy. And it's how do we redesign, redefine, and reinvent the way that we understand value creation, particularly on an early stage entrepreneurship, so that we can actually drive this forward. No? And so our incubator, we have it in Barcelona, and our accelerator, we have a 6-year partnership deal in Bilbao with PricewaterhouseCoopers to make this into a broader scale, focusing mostly in Latin America and in Spain. So this might also be an interesting driver as we move forward. Third pretension is how do we actually support all the productive net or network of companies, particularly the small and medium enterprises, so that we can all converge to the 2030 agenda, the sustainability agenda. And when you're talking about small and medium enterprises, particularly the small ones or the micro companies, you have to be very smart and precise as of to where do you spend your money. No, because if you make a mistake, you're losing very limited resources that you've got. No, so you have to have a very quick return, either on increasing your sales, on reducing your costs, or in accessing financing through different grants that might be available now because of the sustainability issue. And for that, we have this tool that we call Actúa Sostenible. So it's like Act Sustainably, in which it's an assessment that lets you measure in less than 4 hours different measures of how well is sustainability integrated into your strategy, how well are you measuring it, so that it then helps you to actually make better and more well-informed decisions, but also drive into different areas of opportunity that might link into these quick wins that then create the incentive for the small and medium enterprises to continue on this venture. No? So this is a third pretension that we have on this plan, with very specific calls to action. I'm just sharing one example. I'll go a little bit further on with different examples that we have not only in Madrid, but across the globe through the Impact Hub network. Fourth pretension, it's, okay, if we want to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, we need to activate citizenship and enable us all together to bring this change that we all look about. No? And this has a lot to do with behavior, and there's, as we know, that to change behaviors, you cannot only go through the head or what people think, but actually, how do we go deeper into what people feel and how people engage with deeper needs that they have, so that they can then connect in a deeper format. No, and this is definitely a strength that we have as an Impact Hub network. We've been building community since our inception back in 2005. And we have a community of 17,000 entrepreneurs now across the globe, where we run different experiences empowering women entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial youth, and many others through real projects. So it's how do we activate citizenship through this change, no? And our work plan for this sustainable reactivation of the economy comes in the next slides, no? And this is the invitation that we have for these different stakeholders to actually partake on this plan, where we have all these different drivers from the network. No, going to the first vertical of the first part that I shared, it's how do we design and develop these ecosystems of impact. No, and as I shared earlier, we have our ecosystem index, or Índice de Ecosistemas de Impacto, where we actually help to diagnose this different regions in Spain, and then we help actually both the regulator or the public administration, but also different agents that activate commerce and the community, but also multinationals or large corporations that have a stronghold on these different provinces. No, and actually this diagnose first allows you to better understand what you already have, and then we accompany them to actually have an action plan that allows us to have a more coordinated and strategic approach for this. But just as this that I've just shared, we have also different projects. I won't go into all of them. We can also elaborate if you want, but we have a circular hub in Guipúzcoa. This is the north of Spain, through the hub of Donosti. We have different projects with Beyond Divides with Robert Bosch Foundation. This goes across Europe, or this cluster for the patient empowerment that we run across the network, but it's driven from Madrid. And here we have also different stakeholders with this pursuit of actually increasing the PIB, the internal product. I don't recall how you say specifically PIB in English, but us being Spanish speakers, I think we're way ahead of that. Continuing with our second vertical, how do we integrate and the entrepreneurship and intrapreneurship of impact across the different areas of and regions? We have very different projects from MedUp, which goes all across the Mediterranean, not only in the southern European countries, but also in areas like Egypt, Algeria, and a couple of other cities, Morocco and countries and so on. With the state crowd of a project that we run across the European Commission, Gira Mujeres, empowering women, as I said earlier, for more than 5 years now. Youth, well, we've impacted more than 11,000 women. And then we also run programs for youth and for refugee and immigrants, particularly on empowering them through coding abilities so that they can then actually drive their projects further. No? And of course, here we go with these different collectives that I've just mentioned, but then also with multinationals and the regulator to actually allow us to grow. No? And here our intention as a collective is to increase by 0.1, so by one tenth, which is quite ambitious, the gross internal product of the country through initiatives like this. And continuing with these initiatives, and I'll just go very, very fast on this, but also with policy labs that allow us to pilot on impact investment. We do this across the European Union, with supporting the different regional governments, in this case, the one in Madrid, to transform the city through impact investment. This massive project of the Torre Vizcaya, where I've just shared, where we have the accelerator with not only the government, but also with PricewaterhouseCoopers. And anyways, the purpose here is to actually affect more than 100,000 citizens in creating more than 440 enterprises altogether. So we have all these different areas that we're measuring on a local and on a global scale, so that we can actually have this very specific results that we invite all these different stakeholders to partake. Continuing with the third vertical, how do we support this transition towards sustainability and supporting particularly the small and medium enterprises, not only on sustainability, but also on this digitalization opportunity that has come across without even being able to ask for it. And for this, we also have several projects. A very exciting one is called Agro Bridges, which is also with the European Commission, which focuses on from farm to fork. No, how do we focus on the whole supply chain of food from the agricultural bit to the plate where you have it? Thinking of sustainable cities with BMW Foundation. This Actúa Sostenible, I just spoke of this earlier, which is this quick diagnosis that we do for this small and medium enterprises, and so on and so forth. Here we're trying to support more than 3 million small and medium enterprises across the region in the coming decade. Remember, all of these numbers are decade-based. Our potential resort is to accompany more than 40,000 small and medium enterprises that then will allow us to actually, through them, reach more than these 3 million people that we've just shared earlier. And then also focusing on the top management of these small and medium enterprises, so that we can also increase their confidence and their certainty that it's sustainability, a driver that they can definitely leverage on, as we've all seen through your presentations earlier on. And then last but not least, this vertical that I spoke of, activating citizenship towards the changes that we all want to see. This won't happen in isolation. We need to have a global change, but if we go global, we really have to go to the most local of possibilities, which is our small towns, small regions, and based on that, with people, real people that we can actually empathize with. And here we have different projects where we actually put into practice all this design tools that allow us to actually evolve and go. This goes from Beyond Divides, with a project that we run with Robert Bosch Foundation, with Global Goals Jam, that is a project that we run across the Impact Hub network and across many other networks of how do we use the SDGs as drivers to actually do hackathons that allow us to then move further on with projects just like the ones that you've presented today. Here, the focus is on university students and the city, third sector, and more than 400 processes of prototyping and enabling citizenship through collectively take action towards the future that we all expect, as I shared, in this next decade, which is crucial if we want to actually reduce the temperature, at least maintain it with the targets that we have from Paris and so on. And then social challenges with the European Commission, different projects from the Basque region. And anyways, just all this to share that we have this responsibility. We're taking a very humble approach, at the same time very ambitious, acknowledging that none of us can do this together by ourselves. We need to transition this journey together. So how might we actually leverage on this transition, enabling the business sector, be it definitely entrepreneurial sector, but also the small and medium enterprises that have been so badly affected by the current situation that we're living, using sustainability as one of the key drivers to actually enable us to move further with real business opportunities that we have ahead of us, and then using this acumen of entrepreneurship and this driver of innovation, focusing on real human needs so that we can move further. No? And for us, also this concept of B Corp, and I don't know how much or how well acquainted you're with this B Corp way of actually focusing on triple bottom line. Us as Impact Hub, we are B Corp. We have a very high rating now. We've just gotten our last rating of 93. Companies like Patagonia, Danone, and many others are B corporations, and that is the drive, the change that we are trying to support one another, not judge one another, not point fingers of you government, you're not doing your bit, you companies, you're just trying about making money, you citizens, we're not making our bit, but actually how do we start pointing the fingers towards us, and then how do we collaborate with a lot of humbleness in our own regions, but at the same time with this understanding, moreover with the times that we're currently living, that we are definitely very strongly connected so that we can actually drive projects that move further on. So these are the slides that I've presented for you. I have some follow-up slides in case you've got some questions, particularly of a couple of these projects, but I'd now like to, if we have still a couple of minutes, just to open the floor for perhaps some questions or comments that you guys might have.
Thank you, Max. Very interesting presentation. Thanks for telling us about the reactivation plan. I think that that is very relevant for any entrepreneur. We want to move forward now because of time. So we will continue with the second round of pitches. We want to welcome now to Juan Jose Pocaterra. He is the CFO of Bicua from Venezuela. Juan Jose, the floor is now is yours, and you have 3 minutes to make your pitch.
Hi, my name is Juan Jose Pocaterra. I am the co-founder and CEO of Bicua. We're a company dedicated to transforming emerging cities into smart cities. The reason for doing this is because our background has been working with governments across different countries in the region. And what we found out is that they share 3 common issues or problems. The first is the existence of huge recognizable information and data silos among agencies, that provides a fragmented view of the city rather than a common shared vision of the urban environment. Second is a lack of interoperable tools that limit their collaboration between city officials, even in the same administration, thus creating a highly redundant structure of processes inside the administration. And last but not least, the fact that technology deployments have been project-based, therefore making very expensive access to innovation cycles and to new technologies like IoT, big data, and AI in local governments. That's why we created Urbo, a SaaS platform that is web-based that allows for city officials to integrately operating or to operate in an integrated way the most critical urban services such as public transportation, waste management, public works, transit operations, lighting, and last but not least, environmental risks management. And what we provide is a single place that allows for a scalable model of digital transformation for these local governments, and at the same time, an affordable way in which small to medium-sized local authorities can enter the process of digital transformation with us. This product is based on 3 tiers. One is a free tier that we provide cities where they upload different or multiple types of unstructured sources of data into Urbo, thus using the power of big data. Second, they purchase an annuity where they can onboard unlimited city officials to plan, maintain, coordinate initiatives, and create infrastructure-related public policies and decisions collaboratively on their assets. And last but not least, if they purchase or acquire IoT devices that we have integrated or homologated into Urbo, they're able in a pay-as-you-grow model to capture real-time data and have the increase their capacity to have remote operation of that infrastructure and assets. And besides having a great product, we believe it's about having a great market adoption strategy. That's why we created City Academy as a learning platform for the different officials and learning the processes of how to do that digital transformation journey in urban landscapes. We have partnered with multilateral organizations to make this know-how available across the market. And last but not least, we have partnered with local representatives and technological partners to increase the capacity of our solution by, for example, integrating over 1,200 IoT devices into it. And this has made us very proud where we can report impact numbers where we operate more than 590,000 assets in our platform, 40% out of which is completely related to sustainability and environmental risks. And that has allowed us to become a profitable and revenue generating business growing each year. Finally, the use cases that we have range from reducing the organic waste time that is left on the city, improving the efficiency of watering and maintenance of public spaces, generating public alerts when contamination and pollution exceeds the OMS levels, and identify dark zones where noise pollution sensors are reporting that the city needs to be more efficient. We're raising $2 million, and we hope with this to expand our operational capability in the next 24 months to reach 1,000 organizations or agencies across 200 local governments. So join us, the Viquans, in making what seems science fiction a reality in the emerging world. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your presentation. Now it's time for our jury members. Any questions, please?
Yes, I'm very curious about the landscape of other companies doing similar things. What type of other companies are in the space?
Right, so that's a great question. There are several startups that are working in optimizing urban environments and services, mostly in Europe and the United States. Just 2 examples would be Quantela and CityWorks that have grown in the last couple of years very strongly, specifically in communities or local counties in the United States, and have raised a lot of capital in the transition of government technologies. But in Latin America, we're still very early in that maturity curve of digital transformation for local governments. Actually, only 121 startups are in the GovTech space, and only 5 of them are in the urban environment and the urban management optimization landscape. So that makes a few of us that have a market opportunity of over 15,094 local authorities from Mexico to Argentina. And that's without counting the rest of the local governments of the 557,000 local governments that we have across the emerging world globally.
Okay, thank you.
Juan Jose, great presentation. Actually, many governments, local, regional, national, are worried in two sides of the of your application, because mostly it goes first, the IoT infrastructure goes into investment, and then it goes into budgetary issues for operation. How are you tackling the those from your business model perspective?
Super. That is another great question. Actually, that's why we made the digital journey and the tiers of the product, where IoT is the last step of the journey. So you're able to integrate first, use all your existing data sources and analog information systems that you have to harness the power of that data without having to add IoT devices. But even when you incorporate IoT devices into the system, we make it on a pay-as-you-grow model, where for each device you pay a fee, and you can have one, you can have 100, or you can have 10,000 devices. So the idea is to adjust itself according to the budgetary constraints that city has. And the idea behind that is that small to medium-sized governments start to access the process of incorporating IoT devices without thinking that it needs to be a huge budget that they need to allocate for this. And we've made this very affordable. That makes us, or allows us, to work with small city governments from Huancayo, Peru, Piura, Oruro in Bolivia. So the idea is to make this scalable and accessible to those smaller local governments that have those budgetary constraints.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you very much for a great presentation, Juan Jose. So now we're moving to our next pitch. We want to welcome Manuel Victoria. He's CEO of Frontier Spectrum, who started in Brazil and is now in Colombia. Manuel, welcome, and remember, you have 3 minutes.
Frontier Spectrum is a Canadian holding developing the pharma cannabis industry from seed to patient. With the current legislation, the industry is projected to worth more than $100 billion by 2025. 70% of this industry will be medicinal, and that's why we have focused on the pharmaceutical side of the business and do that business approach. Our structure from Frontier Spectrum is based firstly our holding company in Canada, where we have the perfect legal and financial conditions to operate globally. We have Germany, where we have our subsidiary, a pharmaceutical subsidiary there, where we have all our treatments being reimbursed by the German government. And the market size by 2029 will worth $5.2 billion. Colombia, on the other side, is a production hub with lower production costs, perfect sunlight, and environmental conditions. Let's talk more about our operations. Manta in Colombia is completely licensed to grow and produce and export cannabis. We have the conditions. We have also 100% biotraceability, specialized in agrotech software. We're hiring Venezuelan refugees as an initiative to create direct social impact. And we're supporting low-income communities by helping build schools in a partnership with BMJ Foundation in Medellin. Our pharmaceutical operation in Germany, it's improving patient life standards. Patients are already receiving the treatment, and all the treatments are reimbursed by the insurance companies and the German government. We're doing all the research and development through the Charité Hospital, developing new treatments, products, and we're running trials. By 2025, we forecast treating 1,300 epilepsy patients, 27,000 on oncology, and 4,700 in ADHD patients. None of this will have happened if we didn't have the right team, from the strategic side to all the legal and the corporate structure, the business development, but also the specialists in the production and the pharmaceutical side of the business, together with a scientific approach. Our revenue model will have in our pharmaceutical company $84.7 million by 2025 and $9.5 million in our production in Colombia. What we basically need is capital to scale our current global strategic partnerships to penetrate new markets, and more exposure to be able to increase life standards. To find more about how you can support us, please contact us on the email below. This is Frontier Spectrum. Thank you very much.
Very much. Any of jury members making questions, please?
Hi, I have a
Hello.
question. Hello. How do you handle the traceability in your products, and how much capital do you need?
Perfect. So our traceability is done by a software where everything from the seed through all the soil, everything that is put into the plant is being tracked, and it is also tracked by the client buying the product in Europe or North America. So we're currently operating with a third-party software, and we're starting to develop our own software in-house to do an agri-tech from seed to patient.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, how are you? How do you plan to use the money you're asking for? What is your biggest concern?
Well, we're asking for right now currently $2 million, and basically part of the funds will go to the pharmaceutical company in Germany. It will be used to scale our operations and sales distribution to start dealing with more patients in the whole part of Germany through clinics and hospitals, treating epilepsy, ADHD, and oncology. And another part of the funds of the use of proceeds will go to Colombia to develop and finish our large-scale operation to start dealing and production globally to export our own needs.
Very interesting. Thank you. Thank you very much, Manuel. We're moving to our third pitch in this block. This pitch comes from a startup in Bolivia and will be presented by Ariel Rebodo. He's the CEO of Mobi. Ariel, you have 3 minutes, please.
Hello, my name is Ariel Rebollo. I am founder of Mobi. I explained the problem in my countries. In Bolivia, I increment the CO2 emissions for forest fires, and the coronavirus situation is very complicated for the massive transport of system and the obsolete of this system of transit. And the innovation is three verticals. One is the energy generation based in photovoltaic system, and this system working with a swap technology, charge one vehicle in 10 seconds. The next vertical is a manufacturer of electric vehicles for process 4.0 in the industry. And the last vertical is technology for connection with the users from one mobile app. The scalability of this project is this Q1. Our team launched the service. The next Q, open house the lithium lab in Uyuni, the reserve most biggest in the world of lithium. The next Q is open house of the smart factory for the process serial massive of electric vehicles. And the last Q of this year is start operations in Mexico. The next year, my plan is the expansion for all Latin America and launch service in Europe, in Barcelona, Spain. Is a great market for a company like Mobi. And the team is me for CEO of the company. Daniel is the CPO and a co-founder building the fleet. Gustavo is a founder and a legal represent, and Juan Pablo is the CTO and GM of Pedidos Ya in Bolivia. I have key employees acquisition from Mexico, Korea, Dubai, Venezuela. I have two big investors, Biopetrol, the most big stations of service for the vehicles, and Kiefer, the most big broker in all country. I have a market size for 11 millions, and 6 million of these people use public transport, represent for more than 400 millions per year. And I start with affordable and clean energy and innovation in the industry for 4.0, and greatest system for mobility, and use the new energies for this. This is Moby, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And now to answer the questions from Moby, Angie Camacho is joining us. So, and for the jury members, if you have any questions for Angie, please.
Thank you so much.
Yes, excellent presentation, and very, very interesting for lithium, which is a raw material that is found tremendously well. Yeah. How are you going? Actually, Ariel told us how they're planning to scale, but which are the keys to those expansion, to that expansion? What are you expecting from us and the market to make it real?
Thank you so much. First, I want to say sorry for Ariel, and I will answer the questions. The keys for us are importance, started for the team, that we have a really good team, and also the investment that we have. For example, Inverse, that they give us the technology, that we are applying in Bolivia. And also we have a strong relationship with our government. Actually, we signed an agreement with a corporation in charge of lithium, like you mentioned, in Bolivia, that we will develop our batteries with all the support that the government can give us. No? We believe that works in public-private partnership will give you a strong background in this, no?
Hi, Angie. I have a question about the size of the market. What is the size of the market for lithium in what you approach in your startup?
For now, we are starting our operations in May in Santa Cruz de la Sierra. It's a city in Bolivia. Then we will go to Mexico. We have some approach with the city of Mexico and also Merida. And we are starting developing this new battery with Bolivian lithium. No? We expect in the next year develop and have a battery that we need for our vehicles for now. Then we can talk, and with the specific battery, we can see the opportunities that we can have in this market first. And like we show in the presentation, we want to explain on all Latam. No? So the opportunities is very challenging, but also we expect, develop, and create this important part in this moment, no, of the battery. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Angie. So we're getting to the end of this competition, and last but not least, welcome Rebecca Brand. She is the CEO of IdaWare from Colombia. This is the last speech that we're having. Rebecca, you have 3 minutes for your speech.
Hi, my name is Rebecca, and with Adriana, we are the owners of IdaWare. The fashion industry is the second most polluting in the world. Fashion accounts for 20 to 35% of microplastic flows into the ocean and outweighs the carbon footprint of international flights and shopping combined. In total, the industry consumes 1.5 billion liters of water annually, and people use a garment 36% less than 15 years ago, but consumes 40% more. So the consumers are not changing, but we can make things better. What we do, we produce athleisure, loungewear, and sleepwear garments with no waste or impact in our planet. How? using textile waste as a raw material, preventing it from going to landfill or incineration, and giving this material a second life. Also, we choose to work with eco-friendly digital prints that don't require water or chemical agents. Last, we work to close the product cycle, ensuring that the garments do not end up in landfills. What makes us different? We know that the fashion industry is big, but we use recycled fabrics to make garments. The versatility of our products is adapting to consumer needs. Also, we have a production based on consumer demand, and our middle price range is allowing us to be more competitive. And our business model is based in direct to consumer, allowing us not to depend on great retailers. Also, our principal market segment is sustainable athleisure, loungewear, and sleepwear. The sustainable athleisure market size was valued almost 80 billion in 2019, and the global sleepwear and loungewear market was registered an incremental growth of almost 20 billion during the 2020 and 24. So how we acquire customers, we have the e-commerce for Colombia is our first market, and the US, and B2B concept stores in Chile, US, and Colombia. Our ROAS is 333%, and we are currently working on establish new strategies to retain our customers based on a mailing strategy. Our team. We have a small team of 5 people. Me as myself, I'm working on the marketing strategy and e-commerce operations and accounting and administrative and pricing. And Adriana, the co-founder, is in the strategic production and planning. Our plan is to grow the team to have expert in each area. What we're looking for a mentorship and a future partner to expand our company to international markets. Follow us in our social media or visit our website to know more.
Thank you, Rebecca. Congratulations. Now it's time for questions from our juries.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
What's the difference between you and the competitors you show us? Because why the people is buying you? Because your brand? Because what are you doing? Because your price? I don't see that very clear.
Okay. Yes, they're buying us first because we're sustainable. That's one of the main reasons we have been growing during the last year. The second one is we are in the biggest market in fashion. Athleisure, loungewear, and sleepwear is one of the biggest segments that is going to grow at a rate of 9% from 2020 to 27. So we're aiming to what consumers want. And the third but not least is because people is attracted to the style that we have. Our brand is inspired in the art and in traveling. So people get inspired by our brand. That's the reason people is buying us right now.
Hi, Rebecca. A pleasure to meet you. Wonderful idea and strategy. I just want to understand a little bit more about your social network marketing strategy and how much does that cost in terms of your revenue?
Okay. What we're doing right now is that we're investing all our revenue into Facebook ads. We have an expert on that. I'm not the expert, but we have an expert. So we're basically growing our direct-to-consumer channel. As you all know, the pandemic has changed retailers. So before that, we used to be focusing more on growing through retailers, but then we see an opportunity of growing direct and creating a community. That's our principal thing. But the other thing that supports this strategy of investing in ads is creating content that explains what we do, that creates a connection directly to our customers, and that has been working. So yeah, that's basically it.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. So that's 8 pitches that we've had during this morning. And now it's time for our jury members for deliberation. I guess it's going to be hard to decide. Our jury members will be supported by Hans Mutkas from Área 31 in Madrid, who's now connected. He will give him support in this hard decision, and he will also make the announcement of the winner. Meanwhile, I would like to inform you that IE is having two other competitions just like this in our region. One will take place next Tuesday, April the 20th, and the competition will bring together startups from Cono Sur, from the countries in Cono Sur. The other will focus on startups from Mexico and Central America, and that will take place on April the 22nd. So for any of our participants, if you would like to connect to those competitions, I would encourage you to do so. Those will be as interesting as these. Remember that the winners of each of these venture days in the region in Latin America will have a direct access and will be shortlisted to participate in the South Summit. The South Summit is a great event that will take place on April the 29th. As you probably know, the South Summit competition brings together the most innovative startups regardless of their industry, developmental stage, and country. And this competition is an excellent showcase to provide more visibility to your projects, get new clients, funding, and achieve strategic partners. I believe that until Hans and the jury members are ready, probably they already sent. Could you confirm if you already sent your scores to Hans, so we can until he processes them, we can have a little conversation. Okay, we'll have a couple of minutes then. I have a confirmation that we still have 3 scores missing. Okay, so I think it's very important also to comment on our excellent presentation from Max Oliva. I've been reading several comments in the chat. I think everyone enjoyed it. And I would like to ask Ernesto, what do you think about this rehabilitation plan for 2030 and the impact hub from that Max presented?
Yeah, it's very important to do that because the world changing, and it's necessary to sustainable and have triple impact. Impact in the financial facts, in social and in environment. I think that it's very important to have present goals for this year, and this is according with the ODS or Objectives Development Sustainable of the Union Nation.
Great. Hector, would you like to comment on this, please?
Sorry, I didn't hear what he said. I was sending the application.
No, I was just asking. I know you're having problems with your camera, but I was just asking if you have any comments on what did you think about our key speaker and his presentation from Max Oliva about this reactivation plan for 2030.
I could not hear him because I was trying to solve the problem with my webcam, so I wasn't here. Sorry for that.
No worries. Javier, maybe you would like to comment on this?
Hello, how are you? Actually, the environment and the impact it's having in all our countries is pretty strong, and nowadays it's because the COVID efforts are eating up all of the governmental budgets. So it's on us on the private sector that has to get very hard on these efforts to contain the impact in the environment. So that's my say and my opinion.
Thank you, Nicolas. Would you like to make any comments on our
Yes,
keynote presentation?
yes. I think we have wonderful startups that are participating here in this year. Very innovative, and one thing that I see very common in all the startups that presented here today is not only a scalability factor but also a social impact factor that it has to be recognized, as well as the scale as the sustainability factor. No, it is a sustainability focused pitched program, but I was very interested about the social impact about them as well.
Nicolas, you are an angel investor. What do you look for to make an investment?
Yes, I'm very focused on the problem that the companies are trying to solve. I think that if most investors could agree that the team is very important in evaluating startups, but there is a lot of big challenges to evaluate the teams in these short presentations and reviewing LinkedIn profiles. So I focused very much in the problem they're trying to solve. I always, when I try to investigate more in each startup, I try to challenge the entrepreneurs in trying to evaluate and quantify how much does it cost not to solve the problem that they're tackling. That gives me a very big understanding about the market opportunity and the scalability and the upside that the startup has in value for my investment.
Interesting. Thank you. I think Hans is ready now. Thanks for all the good work that the jury members have been doing. Hans, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So first of all, I just wanted to say on behalf of IE Entrepreneurship, thank you to everyone that participated to this event today, and thank you to you, Alexandra, and thanks to the jury and to the startups that have participated, and also a warm thank you to the Altiplano team members of IE that have helped put forward this event. So as we've seen today, 8 great pitches for 3 minutes and Q&A. They have been evaluated on 5 criteria, which is innovation, scalability, team, investor readiness, and market opportunity. And I have to say that it was a very tight call in the end. But to break it down, the winner of the Altiplano Venture Day is Data Traffic. Congrats.
Congratulations. I think all of them were very good pitches, as you mentioned, and our jury members have evaluated according to the different things that we required for this evaluation. And it's very important to congratulate Daniel Cuervo and Data Traffic. So you will participate on August 29th in the South Summit. We will get in touch with you to coordinate this participation. And thank you all so much. As I mentioned at the beginning, we got over 60 postulations, out of which 8 competed today. All of them were great, and congratulations to all of you. And Daniel, great job. Wish
Thank you
you
so
the best.
much, Alexandra, and everyone in the team. I saw all the pitches and they were absolutely great. So I really want to congratulate the entire. There's a lot of great ideas concerning sustainability in the other ones, and well, it was my turn, but I really enjoyed it, and thank you so much for letting us participate.
Congratulations again, and thank you very much to everyone for joining today. I think it was a great event. Thanks again to Max and his speech. It was excellent. And thank you everyone for joining with YouTube to follow this event. Remember that we have 2 others, the Cono Sur on next Tuesday, Mexico and Central America next Thursday, and then we have the South Summit that you all should join, and that's going to take place on the 29th. You can look for it to register for that event. Thank you very much.